Week 15 was a crazy one. Trevor Lawrence going nuke, ETN going nuke. That killed me and Merck. We had a really sick BBM team. I only did 9 BBM teams this year. Did one with Merck, and we had a top 4,000 team. It was really, really solid, but just got slightly edged in our pod. We had Caleb to DJ Moore and DeAndre Swift, which was a nice stack without Rome. So Rome going down was super helpful for this squad. JT is what killed us at the end, but we had Bijan go off on Thursday, which looked great. Nice trio of wide receiver scores, Goddard, and no Pitts in our pod. So we really thought we were going to advance here. We were looking really solid. And then this guy just had the Trevor Lawrence explosion. And really, really unfortunate because he was on Malik Neighbors' team. The rest of his team just kind of underwhelmed for the most part, but just unfortunate for him to get 74 points from that stack. Otherwise, we just advanced there pretty easily, but no worries. We didn't do many drafts. Next summer, we plan to do a bunch on stream. So if we got this done on limited volume, it'll be exciting to see what we could do next year. And then as far as Underdog goes, I only got a couple drafts through to the next round outside of the flagship BBM, but DraftKings, I do have a nice sweat in the Millie Maker. Let's take a look at that team. I don't know. I normally look at this on the phone, so I don't know how functional. Here we go. Hold on. It popped up. And I cashed out my stimmies. The stimmies came through today for the other contest that didn't advance, but those finally paid out. This is weird. I don't know why it's showing my team like this, but let's take a peek. So the team on the right's the one that's in the Millie. So I didn't use Tua score. It was Matt Stafford, who's down here. Had Stafford, Derrick Henry. Didn't use Walker score. I wish I could see the. I'm not on here. Let me go to recent. Maybe that'll. Here we go. Okay, so this team scored 210 points. Used the Stafford 24.92. Obviously, the Pitts came in huge. Had a Monra go for 44.4. Who else went off? Tony Pollard, sneaky. Actually used Dalton Schultz in the flex. 3 healthy quarterbacks, which is nice. Got Rodgers, Stafford, and Tua. Devontae Adams got hurt, which sucks. Not really sure what the deal is there, but didn't even end up using his score. Obviously, Pitts helped a ton. I imagine a bunch of people in the second round will have Pitts, so hopefully we can use Dalton Schultz in the future weeks. And then I'm just going to do a quick slate breakdown for this upcoming week 16. This will be the final stream. And just 1 second, my dog wants this tennis ball. Just kick her out real quick. But yeah, this will be the last stream just because the holidays are coming up. You got Christmas next week, and then the following week's New Year's. So it's just going to get tricky. And then after week 17, there's really not much to talk about as far as what we're focused on. So this will be the finale. But appreciate you guys. What's up, Brian? Thank you for stopping by, man. Wasn't even sure if we were going to do this stream, but didn't want to just wrap up the season without doing a final stream here. Just get some closure on the season. Thank you guys all for tuning in the last couple months. It's been an awesome ride. We hit 200 subscribers recently, which I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's definitely an exciting milestone. And Chad said it's been great. Appreciate the content this year. Yo, Chad, appreciate you, man. And Was honestly pretty tilted early this week, so, like, I didn't even make it into your streams. I haven't really been tuning into any content. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling the same way. Not completely dead. Merck and I did lose this really nice BBM team that was in the top 4,000 overall. I don't even know if we got our stimmy for that. Got the cards yesterday. Appreciate them in the show. Yo, hell yeah. I'm glad they made it. I'm surprised it took that long, but that's probably my fault because Thanksgiving happened. I ended up getting those out like right after Thanksgiving. So it took a bit. And Chad, I don't know if Merck sent your cards, but if not, shoot me a message on Discord so we can get your address. Cause I know he was asking me if I had your Discord. And I told him just check in the deposit kingdom, but I'll circle back on that. Don't blame you. Week 15 was real deflating. Yeah, I really didn't even know if I wanted to do this stream, and I'm sure you felt the same way. But uh, as I was saying on like the beginning of the stream, we had this one advancing pretty much all day, and then ETN went for like I don't know, just that final touchdown catch just really made this guy catch up, and then we were still ahead, but he had TJ Hawkinson in the one of the primetime games, just enough to edge us, but it was fun, and we didn't do a ton of BBMs this year. We only did 2 together, and we had this one go this deep, so it's definitely encouraging, and we plan to do a bunch on stream over the summer. And yeah, just appreciate you guys, and gonna just do one last slate breakdown, and then just to so I got these 2 teams. It was actually Mosia Tuna, the guy that won the Millie Maker earlier this year, that slightly edged me in this one, but I found out later that the top 2 advanced, which is pretty cool. So, um, on to the next round in this one with a pretty nice Josh Allen team. Had the ETN bomb, which is cool. Rico Dowdle has been good all season, but yeah, my biggest sweat at this point is going to be this DraftKings Millie Maker. A lot of healthy bodies, 3 healthy quarterbacks, so that'll be our sweat, and gonna probably do some dailies this week, and then I don't know, next week will be 50-50 with Christmas. But yeah, this will most likely be the last week I put good volume into the dailies. So appreciate you guys sticking with us this late in the season. Um, really excited for next year. Really excited to do some collaborations as well. We were talking to Brian the Goober, who's in the chat, about getting him on here. Would love to have Chad on here. Got these 3-headed overlays done. It's kind of wonky right now because the way I have my thing set up, but we'll be able to get 3 people there. Almost like losing my voice. It's crazy. But got that, and then also the 3-headed overlays for drafting. So that's exciting. Didn't have that until just recently. So see. So that'll give us the capability to bring on guests next season. So super pumped about that. Definitely down to collab. I'd also save some bullets for week 18. Week 18 and week 1 are the biggest edges, in my opinion. So is week 18 cash game week? So I think that's when Underdog adds the double ups, right? So I guess I shouldn't just completely wave the white flag. And it's been a great season. Had a lot of close calls in the Battle Royale. Best finish was 11th for 4,000, but pretty much every week I've been in the top 100, top 150. It's just been a matter of getting everything to come together, which is, the story of the 6-man. So just got to keep improving the process and putting in volume. Happy with the season for sure. And yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Would love to get you on here. Would love to get Gumby on here. And would love to get on your show. That'd be a lot of fun. Do some best ball drafts, some dailies, dog bowls, all that fun stuff. So yeah, definitely try to do some week 18 stuff. And not sure Mercs might still hop on tonight. We'll see, because we were kind of 50-50 if we were going to even do this. And I was like, fuck it. I just want to make sure I wrap up the season and Still some edges to be had this week. No buys, some fun games, and yeah, just gonna make it a quick one. We'll make it happen. Yeah, man, I'm excited for it. Um, I know you guys are just getting started, but growing fast. Same with Chad. Um, every time I hop in your guys' streams, you guys got good engagement, lots of chatters, good viewership. So as Underdog grows, these channels will grow. It's I most of my friends in my home leagues outside of Merck still don't even really know what Underdog is, don't really even know what best ball is. And as my friends are getting married, having babies, all that fun stuff, they're gonna have less and less time for managed leagues. So I feel like they're really gonna like the idea of best ball and less in-season commitment and all that fun stuff. So the best is yet to come. I'm excited and yeah, let's make it happen. So just going through this slate real quick, it looks like Josh Allen and then choose your own adventure. And even Josh Allen's on the road against a tough defense. So just from first glance, really, it's looking like a do whatever you want at quarterback, really. You can scroll all the way down here, get some low ownership options against good matchups. Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, even Kirk Cousins in a good matchup if you believe. That wasn't a fluke last week. All these guys are going to be really low owned in the six man. So just from the eye test, it's looking like a fun week at quarterback. What's up, Spartacus the Marine? Hello, I have Burrow, and I'm considering dropping either Monty, T. Warren, I have Bowers, E. Wilson, opponent has Jacobs for Brissett. Should I just run with Burrow and stop overthinking? I lost a really good managed league team in my college league. I went to Virginia Tech, and it's a 12-man league, half point PPR, and it was a wagon all season. I won the high score 5 times, and Joe Burrow is what killed me this week. I lost by 4 points, 5 points, and that game was so brutal to watch. I don't know, man. It's that they had skin in that game, and I'm almost positive they're eliminated at this point. So it's just hard to imagine he's gonna fight till the end of the fourth quarter. Let me see. Is he even on the main slate? Yeah. So good matchup, but it says he'll start the rest of the regular season. So I don't know. But if Brissett's available, it's hard to not want to play into that. Everyone said he can't get away with it again against Houston, and he got away with it again. So yeah, I wouldn't blame you for going Brissett. And out of those guys, what's the Packers matchup? They're not on the main slate. I think they play. Okay, so they play the Bears Saturday night. There's no way Jacob sits if he played last week, right? So I don't really see any reason to hold Emmanuel Wilson. I can't see his status, but I mean, it says he's still fighting through the knee injury. I guess if you're trying to be safe, and if there's no way you're gonna, yeah, it's a tricky one. Give me all the Dart, Shuck, and JJM this week, especially if they're undrafted. Yeah, it's looking like a really fun week at quarterback. Let me go back to the main slate. If Josh Allen's going to go every time, I don't know if Herbert's going to be 100% drafted. I guess against Dallas, maybe. And then Dak. These guys are probably going to be like 90. Burrow, like 60, 70. I don't know. How far can you really go? I got to get some water. I don't know what's up with my voice. Hmm, I guess the cutoff Shador as far as who's starting. Tyrod? Not touching a Jet. Cam Ward against KC? No. Gino, no. Minshew, no. Bryce Young against Tampa Bay is interesting. Dolphins are eliminated. Mm. So yeah, that might be the target area. Dart, Shuck, McCarthy, Tua. Yeah, like that shout, Brian. I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna get some water. I don't know what's going on with my voice. Hope I'm not getting sick because I've survived all football season staying healthy somehow. But I also don't have a kid, so that makes a big difference. Yeah, I like these four the best. And I don't really want to attack this range if they're gonna be drafted every time or drafted a high percentage of the time when these guys are probably gonna project similarly down here. So I'm with Brian. I like this range the best. Move on to running back. Achan at home against Cincinnati. I mean, it's a smash matchup, but neither team has anything to fight for. Is it going to be a barn burner? I'm not sure. See what Vegas thinks. Got Vegas totals, team totals. So, as far as your question, should I just run with Burrow and stop overthinking? Vegas thinks so. They're projecting him 26 and a half, 1 point, trending up. So, they aren't anticipating the Bengals slowing down. I know we're on running back, but let me just take a quick look at T. Higgins. I don't see any reason for him to come back. Hmm. And then the Dolphins, 24 trending up one. So game total 50 and a half. Yeah, as long as the Dolphins have reason to keep running Achan, which they really don't, he's obviously a smash. But if they won last week, I'd like him so much better. That's just a little concerning. I think there's some merits for the Dolphins to give Ollie Gordon some touches. Did he even play last week? Suffers ankle injury. Okay, the water helped. My voice feels more normal. What about Jalen Wright? Did he get any touches? 5 touches. Yeah, I don't think he's my 101, to be honest. But we'll see what projections think. Gibbs probably the 101. I don't think the Lions are eliminated just yet. See if we could find NFL playoff odds. Here, I want probabilities. So the Lions, 44% chance. Is this up to date? Yeah. So if the Lions still have a 44% chance, 55% if they win, 19% if they lose, that means they just have so much more incentive than the Dolphins, in my opinion. And TJ Watt had a collapsed lung, so you don't have to worry about that. They're at home in a dome. Yeah, Gibbs is definitely my one-on-one. And then Atlanta's also eliminated, right? Yup. So they got Bijan on the road at Arizona. I mean, just because you're eliminated doesn't mean you can't score fantasy points, but and then James Cook, bad matchup, but they're also incentivized to win. Let's look at the Bills odds. So the Bills are guaranteed to make the playoffs, but only 6% to get the 1 seed because the Broncos. They're fighting for the division, so that's their incentive. Let's see what their total is. 26 and 7-5. So Vegas isn't worried about the matchup. So I think James Cook's still viable. So I'd probably rank it something like this. Bucky at Carolina in a must-win game. Let's look at the Bucks. 77% chance, 94% if they win. Still in if they lose, not in, but still have a good chance if they lose. No shot at the 1 seed. Very important divisional game. Let's see what Vegas thinks about the Bucks. Where are they at? 24-5. So I think Bucky's a real nice play. What's the total for the Falcons? 25-5. Okay, Falcons have a good total too. So maybe Bijan over Cook, yeah. And then Bucky looks like he's in a good spot. I guess that's all just pretty obvious, but I guess let's look at some scroll options. What's the Panthers total? Must win for the Panthers as well. 21-5. So not terrible, not great. Kind of like Rico. I know Tampa Bay is mostly a pass funnel, but I guess that would make Ted a decent play. Not touching a Jet. Tony Pollard's been on fire, and we talked about it last week. Like, what does Eagles know? And I was like, I guess Tony Pollard's a good play again because the Eagles took a ton of Tony Pollard in the quarter 4 contest. And I was maybe we should just blindly take Tony Pollard for that reason, and he smashed again. So maybe we ride that train. So let me get rid of the chalk and just keep the viable scrolls at running back. Kenneth Gainwell, I don't hate. He's just been a solid floor play every week with a decent ceiling if things break right. Probably more of a 12-man play. Jalen Warren, you disgust me. It's crazy. It's funny Gainwell has a higher ADP now. Jalen Warren will probably go for 3 touchdowns this week, just knowing how fantasy football works, but I'm not getting there. Tracy was a smash last week. Good matchup last week. Good game total. Good team total. So it was good leverage off the Theo Johnson, Darius Slayton, just the other popular Giants pieces. Wandale. Don't love it as much this week. I imagine the Giants totals last week it was like 24. I imagine it's way lower this week. 20.5. So I won't be getting to Tyrone Tracy. Don't hate David Montgomery. What's the Lions total? 29-5. Anytime they're that high at home, he's always pretty interesting. Chat says Tracy seems interesting as a 6-person scroll. Yeah, I mean, he looked great last week. I guess my only concern is the matchup. They like to blitz a lot, Minnesota, and I just feel like he's gonna have to get the ball out quickly. Maybe that means he'll get some dump offs. He got 3 receptions, but I guess what's working in his favor is the Giants are home. The total's not egregious. 20 they're still over 20 points. So yeah, I think I'd prefer it in the 6 mans where he's gonna be virtually unowned still, even after a good week. So yeah, 15 carries. What did Singletary do? Did he do anything? No, he finally took a sidestep. And I'm with you as far as Scadaboo goes. He was on my like Team of Glory redraft team that just had the sickest receivers of all time. It was mostly a 0 RB team, and just losing him killed. But Tracy seems to be filling in pretty nicely. So maybe I just gotta ride it because that role's just been eating all season. So we'll keep him on the list. David Montgomery at home, high team total is always in play. Not touching Genty. They'll probably project him for 14 points. You can't fool me. Kareem Hunt, they're not playing for anything, so not getting there. Chuba, viable in the pass game against a pass funnel. Probably more of a 12-man play. Other than that, yeah, it's probably about it for scrolls. But even, I mean, I could maybe get back in on Judkins, assuming Shador continues to try to show off and make big plays. Like he could just get that one deep ball to Bond and Judkins punches it in, or Judkins can break loose against a pretty susceptible run defense. So might get there. What's the Browns total? It's probably awful. It's always awful. 16.75. So yeah, it's just so hard to get there. Yeah, let's take them off. ETN against Denver. Nah. I did say last week I was Bijan, like I didn't get enough Bijan against the Jets, and I was like, I just can't let it happen again. So I did get to a good amount of ETN in the battle royales. My best team finished well. It just didn't finish strong enough. It had Lawrence, or no, it didn't have Lawrence. Let's see. Things are so top heavy. Uh, like this lineup, if I had this lineup in a smaller contest, it would have done well. But I only played the main DR this week. Got kind of smoked. This was the best squad. Actually, did have Tyrone Tracy at 3%, so liked him better. Everything about this team, I like. It just wasn't enough with the T-Law nuke, and I was getting to a lot of T-Law, and I was getting to a lot of BTJ, Juwan Jennings, ETN, or not Juwan Jennings, Jacoby Myers, and Travis Etienne. I just wasn't stacking Lawrence with ETN. Like, here's my next best team was Lawrence Strange team. I don't do a ton of quarterback to running back unless they have that pass catching archetype. I did some Purdy to CMC, but yeah, I mean, how often has ETN gone that nuke in the passing game? So I don't think it was a process mistake. I think these teams were pretty short, like Tracy 3%, Juwan Jennings 12%. Everyone did well. It's just, yeah, I just think it. I don't think I was going to get to Lawrence Etienne. And what else? It's a 3 receiver team with. I mean, I did 2 Jags. They had the high team total, and I've been really trying to play that narrative this season where if I'm going to do 2 teammates from the same team, make sure they have a high total. So this week that would be the Lions, that would be the Bills. But I don't really normally do it with the Bills just because they're so spread out and kind of hard to predict. But maybe the Bengals, maybe do Chase Brown and Jamar Chase if T sits. Just attacking these high totals. You don't want to. I was so mad at myself last week. I had a Bowers team and I accidentally tacked on Genty, and I was like, this team's dead. This team's dead. They're projected 14 points last week, and I was like, "This team's I'm literally just paying the rate because they're projected so low, and this is never gonna work. The story doesn't make sense." I think it was a front scroll too. I think it was fine too since he only had 4 targets. Hard to project 75% TD rate. Oh, are you talking about ETN? Yeah. I mean, I was getting to a ton of ETN and I was getting to a ton of Lawrence. I just never was getting them together. And I think I'm still fine with it, just process wise. I didn't have many three wide receivers teams, so that's kind of weird for that one to bubble up. What else got up here? Woody got hurt, but this team still was had no chance. Any other where are my like Lawrence teams? Here's a Lawrence BTJ, but I had Henry. I guess this team, yeah, even if this team had ETN, it still wasn't enough. So I guess it was really just this top combo needed Lawrence. And even that would have scored 169 points, which, yeah, I guess I would have been in the top. But I don't get mad when that happens because I just know I couldn't have got there. I think that wraps it up for running back, though. I think these are my favorite scrolls. And then I prefer Gibbs over HN. And then wide receiver. It's funny to see Chase finally going as the number one receiver. Reason being, team total is super high. T. Higgins unlikely to play. Good matchup. Both Puka and JSN are playing on Thursday night. So if JSN and Puka were on the main slate like they have been all season, he wouldn't be going here. I'm surprised to see Amon-Ra going after him, but I guess people are just were a little worried about the emergence of JMO. I mean, JMO has emerged, but started off slow this season. So I guess it's a little cleaner for Jamar if T sits. Both have really high team totals. Lions have a slightly higher team total. And then CD, what's the Cowboys total? Am I missing it? Why don't I see the Cowboys? I'm confused. Hold on. They play the Chargers. I just don't think it's on here, but 49 and a half total. We could do the math ourselves. 49 and a half, and then they got the Chargers at 23.75. So they have the Cowboys at 25.75. So not sure why it's not on here. Probably just a mistake from Fantasy Labs, unless I'm missing it, but we could do the math ourselves. Do I have anyone from high totals on my Millie team? What's the Ravens total? 25.75. Hopefully it's finally a Henry game. Got a Monra, that's nice. I don't know if Adams is gonna play. Probably not. Waddle in a decent spot if he's healthy. Warren if we trust Eagles. I mean, overall, this team's pretty solid. Kenneth Walker's been doing nothing, but didn't need him. Okay, so back to receivers. CD, and then are people over Pickens because he had one bad week? Or no, he's still up here. Nico against Las Vegas. Let's look at what's the Cowboys playoff percentage? They're not eliminated, are they? Less than 1%. 2% if they win. Wow. Why is their odds so strong? Hmm. Okay, so looks like the Panthers and the Buccaneers is one of the most important games. And we have the Bucks as a pass funnel. So where's Tet? Yeah, it looks like Tet's a smash. 33.5 ADP. Can probably get him for free every draft right now, and he's playing in a must win against a pass funnel. What's their total again? 21.25. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Yeah. Think I like Tet. And then Steelers also need to win. Let's look at their playoff percentage. DK, what did he finish with? I know he had a late touchdown, only 13 points. Hasn't hit a true ceiling like we were accustomed to in Seattle when he used to go for 30 ish. Let's see. Steelers are still leading the division. Not in a terrible spot if they lose, but they open the door for the Ravens. The Ravens aren't on the main slate. Yeah. Interesting. So the Steelers, I'd still consider it. I wouldn't say it's a must win, but it's an important game. What do they have the Steelers total at? They're going to be most likely in a trailing game script. So we got the Steelers going 22-7-5, trending up 3.2. So it's steaming up. So don't hate DK to finally maybe hit a ceiling in a dome. Got 12 targets the week before. Two solid weeks. Can we finally get that ceiling game? 148 yards. He just needs to combine that with the touchdown. So I like DK. I like Tet. Not touching T, even if he's active. I don't think he could just one play and he could be out. Nothing to fight for. Sutton against Jacksonville. Broncos are 100% playoffs. 69% one seed. They got the Jags somewhat on their tail. 9% one seed. So it's still an important game at home. Don't hate Sutton. What's the Broncos total? I'm just trying to connect the dots between totals and game importance. Broncos 24.5, pretty good total. Don't mind getting to some of the ancillary pieces either. If you're in the 12 mans, I think it's a little thin in the six. Detroit Franklin's. I think Mims had a decent game. I think he dropped a touchdown, might be making that up. But I'm not getting there. Ibuka, what's the Bucks total? We've talked about this game being important. Bucks total 24-5, trending down a little bit. Still really solid. I think I like Ibuka if he's going to be that cheap. If he's going to be unowned. One bad week. I mean, it's been a stretch of bad weeks. Don't get me wrong, but and then I guess is Mike Evans fully healthy and getting drafted every time? Yeah. So yeah, maybe we move Evans up here as a guy we like just for game importance reasons. But I don't hate Ibuka. He's still got massive upside and should get a little less attention now. And he's kind of the strong mindset guy. I know he's probably wanting to get back, and he was a former rookie of the year, offensive player of the year candidate. So I still getting good targets, 7, 9, 8, 8, 9, ton of talent. So don't hate betting on him in that game environment either. Ibuka snaps got throttled way back last week. He was basically 50-50 with McMillan. Was gonna look into it more. Yeah, no, McMillan is a guy that the solver from ETR tried to shove down my throat in best ball season. And if I didn't IKB it, I would have had 100% of them probably. I think I ended up with like 9%, but was encouraging to see him actually get some reps last week, but discouraging for Ibuka for sure. Have to look at some utilization reports and see what's up with that. But I, yeah, I don't think I can get to McMillan, but he's more of a good shout than anything because it might just be make it hard to get to Ibuka. And now Kate Otten seems pretty. I know we're not a tight end quite yet, and it looks like he's questionable. But yeah, if he was active, his role is just completely cooked now. Same as the way Jake Ferguson has become cooked ever since CD came back. He was just smashing that role when CD was out, but ever since CD's been back, Jake Ferguson's been virtually unplayable. So kind of the, I guess, thesis here with Mike Evans coming back. So good shout. Maybe I won't get to as much as Ibuka as I thought I might, but still don't hate it. And then what's how are the Chargers looking? Leading the division, 92% to get playoffs, 98%, 87%. Still have a shot at the 1 seed. So their total is 23.75, trending up slightly. I don't hate Lad. I mean, Dallas has been gettable. We saw the Giants go nuke against Dallas early in the season. What's the total on that game? 49.5. If this was week 1, we'd probably be smashing Lad. I know it's been not great. Ceiling hasn't been there, but at that ownership, don't hate doing maybe a Lad Herbert thing. And then outside of that, what are they projecting the Jags? The Jags have been crushing, obviously, but now they get a tough matchup on the road. 21 and a half. Not terrible, but not nearly as high as it was last week against the Jets. So won't completely fade the Jags, but won't be doing as much team stacking as I did last week. Keenan a little hard to get to. His ceiling just hasn't been there. Good floor, but actually his floor just really hasn't even been there. Shakir, nah. BTJ, nah. Marv, nah. Wandale, maybe. I feel like whenever we want to play Wandale, he's average. And then whenever we're like 50-50, kind of over his ceiling potential, he smashes. So don't hate it. I mean, both teams are irrelevant at this point, but could be a fun one maybe. Had Godwin do last week, 12 points, touchdown. Don't hate Godwin either at this ownership, but it's just getting a little murky in Tampa Bay. Kind of throwing darts. Not really concentrated, so yeah, probably won't get there. Let me remove those guys. Outside of that, I think we're getting a little deep for the 6-mans. Maybe some Troy Franklin. But yeah, we'll wrap it up at receiver for now. And then go to tight end. Is Trey McBride on the slate? Yes, he is. And his discount lasted 1 week and will never be back. And I imagine we were talking about this, or Pete was talking about this on one of his streams. Like, is elite tight end going to be a thing next year? People going to still draft them early? I think they might draft him even earlier now than they did last year. I think Trey McBride might be a late first rounder, early second rounder. I mean, that's what Bowers was. So, yeah, it wouldn't shock me if people are taking McBride at the 1-2 turn, especially on DraftKings, where it's full point PPR. So, yeah, I guess people are just going to keep riding the Brissett train until it fails. I don't see why they shouldn't. Kyle Pitts is going to be funny because I haven't looked at it yet, but he's probably the most owned player in best ball week 16. And it's going to be really interesting to see how he follows it up. I think it'll be really helpful for some teams if you have an elite tight end secondary or let's see. I know I have like what well, this team is a Pitts team, but it has Schultz. Who did the Texans get this week? Las Vegas. So ideally for this DraftKings Millie team, I get a Schultz explosion and Pitts kind of does nothing. I think that would provide more leverage. All right. So outside of McBride, I like I can't possibly get nuked by Pitts again, so I'm not gonna fade him. You're strong man if you fade him, but I don't blame you if you do. Bowers, I know he had a bad week, but talent's there, and I can't really give up on him. The team total's hilarious. 11-7-5. So yeah. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. If Gino plays or Gino's been sacked all season by teams much worse than Houston, so it's gonna be a nightmare. I just it's so hard to fade Brock Bowers. Might have to though. Waller against Cincinnati, I don't hate. Let's see. Is Waddle healthy? I feel like I saw Crutches mentioned something about him getting banged up, but maybe he's fine. These guys are all going to be drafted every time. There was a point where we were viewing Gadsden as an elite tight end. Targets haven't really been there, but the talent is. So don't hate him in a decent matchup, decent total. Travis Kelce, no Mahomes. It's hard to get to. Although Minshew was feeding him. He got peppered with targets by Minshew on that final drive. So if you want to tell yourself the story that the backup quarterback just peppers that low A dot target, I would probably prefer it on DraftKings where there's full point PPR. It's hard to tell yourself like a touchdown ceiling narrative, but yeah, that seems not the best. And then Schultz, I don't hate. Assuming I don't know what's up with Woody, but if they don't really have a run game, maybe they lean on the pass a bit more. Says he could have re-entered, but I guess they were just up a bunch. Any deep scrolls we like down here? Bills have a high total. It's been frustrating for Kincaid. Knox catching 2 touchdowns. I think both weeks, the last 2 weeks. Or no, maybe only last week, but still had a good game the week prior. It's been frustrating. Don't hate Brenton Strange. What's the Jags total again? It's like 20, 21 and a half. Yeah, if you have to get the ball out quickly, potentially against Denver, maybe he just gets peppered with targets. Hasn't really been a target monster. So it's hard to bet on. Anything else down here we like? Evan Ingram just hasn't really been doing much. Taysom Hill got a goal line carry, but did nothing with it. Jonnu Smith, nah, I mean, Darnell Washington was getting the targets. Yeah, I think that's about it for tight end scrolls. I would say Theo Johnson's always in play. Juwan Johnson. Let's look at the Seahawks playoff picture. Like, how hard are they going at the Jets here, if at all? 99% to make the playoffs, 100% if they win. So they clinch if they win, still 90%, 99% if they lose. I guess they're still somewhat fighting for the division and number 1 seed. They could win and the Rams could lose, so and they're still 17, 18. So yeah, the Seahawks aren't gonna take their foot off the gas. They're gonna stomp the Jets. And it'll probably be a Sharps week. I don't know. It's so hard to know what's going on with that backfield. Jake Ferguson, I was just saying, kind of tough to click with CD healthy. It's just kind of his role's just completely diminished. So yeah, not many great tight end scrolls this week. It's kind of murky. Don't hate Gadsden. Is it just McBride or pay the rake? I don't know. I wonder if any of the sharps will be pulling up McBride to 101. Because running back's somewhat flat between these guys. I like Gibbs the best, but you can make an argument for all of them having ceiling potential. So maybe just lock up the best tight end. I don't know. Let's get in a draft though. Gonna do 1 or 2 drafts. We'll do a 12 man to start. See if it'll fill. And if it does not fill, we'll just do a BR. 6 people in here, so decent chance this fills. We'll get in a normal BR for now, but if you're lurking in the chat, we need 6 for a 12 man. Would love to draft with y'all. This will be the final stream of the season, which is sad to say, but got the holidays next week and maybe we'll come back for week 18. I don't know. Brian was selling me where's that at? Said save some bullets for week 18. Week 18 and week 1 are the biggest edges in my opinion. So yeah, maybe I got to come back after the holidays for a finale. But for now, this will be the last stream until after New Year's, just because I'm gonna be traveling, going home for Christmas, and normally we got Merck's cards on here, and he's unable to hop on. That's my fault because I originally told him we just weren't gonna do it this week. They gave me a detection error. Told him we just weren't gonna do it this week, and then a half hour before our normal stream time of Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, I was like, I'm just gonna hop on, and if you can make it, you can make it. No worries if not. Don't know what's going on with my location though. In the 6-man though, no problem. But yeah, RIP to our BBM team that Merckx and I had in the top 5,000 overall. It's a really sick one with Bijan, JT, and JSN. 2 good tight ends. Was really hoping A-Rich came back after Daniel Jones went down, but just didn't happen. And yeah, there's people who had worse beats. It's not even really a beat. People put up like 180 and came in third. So move on. Got a DK Millie team alive on low volume, so be sweating that. I think I have 4 or 5 total best ball teams moving on somewhat low volume. So definitely a fun season. Definitely learned a lot, and we'll grow from it and do a lot more volume next season. A lot of which will be on stream. But that BBM team actually was on stream. It was like in August when I think that was our first and only BBM stream. Let's see, I think there's a trick to this. I normally don't get this error. Okay, we're good. 2 more for BR, 6 more for 12 man. BR is my bread and butter. That's where I've had success this season. I just feel like it's easier to get unique because in the 12 mans, it's just such a deep player pool that you're forced to take the gross plays anyways. Whereas if you like really lean into the gross plays in the 6 mans, can give you a nice edge. Like earlier in the season, I had a really nice finish. It only cashed for like $500. It wasn't my best. The best finish was for 4,000, but the one for 500 had JCM, which people weren't even really getting to in the 12 mans. And in main BR, he was drafted, I think it was 0.38%. He went for 26 points that week. And that ended up coming down to an O line D line mismatch. But I just feel like if you could find those, pinpoint those edges, I feel like you can get them at much lower ownership in the six mans. But the only problem with the six mans, which my buddy Chad Mashke reiterates a lot, which got me into this 12 mans more, is he just says you got to be too damn perfect in the six mans, especially in the main BR. So that can be a little discouraging. Like you'll have a really sick lineup, and in most other contests, it would have done really well. Whereas in the main BR, you just got to be so perfect. So that can be frustrating. But when you do really get that pure lineup to come together, it's just really awesome. And I didn't even realize like that one that hit for 4K. I know I've mentioned it before, but if BTJ didn't have that touchdown called back that week when Travis Hunter was called off, I think he had a false start or something. Like I would have hit for 25,000 and got second place. So it's like really game of edges or like just game of inches. So yeah, was really happy with the process this season. Uh, we'll fine tune a few things. I think I learned that like definitely like can pinpoint my own mistakes now. Like just talking about last week when I accidentally paired Bowers and Genty, I was so pissed at myself immediately because I was saying, hey, they're only projecting 14 points. This is never going to hit. One of them can hit even at the low total. But when you're stacking up teammates, you want them at least 26 points like the Jags were. So I was happy when I had the ETN Jacoby Myers pairing, or it might have been BTJ, I don't remember, because you can, when they're projected for that many points, you could tell that story. So even with as much as I've learned this season, still just making mistakes and, you know, being able to pinpoint it's part of the growth and excited for what's to come. Need three more for a 12 man, so it looks like this will fill. And appreciate you guys very much hanging with us all season. We'll go Amon Ra here at the 6. Not going to take Josh Allen. Our buddy Methodology says Josh is really only a viable click this early when you know he's going to get pushed, like he's going to play the Buccaneers or he's going to play the Bengals. It just doesn't seem like the environment for that. Don't hate James Cook, though, in that environment just because they might run the ball and they still have a good total. I think I'd rather take CD, though. They have a good total. It was 26.5. They're at home. They're not just going to roll over. They still have a 2% chance to make the playoffs. So they're going to fight till the end, I imagine. And I just feel like if you click Allen or Cook, it's going to be pretty common. So seems like a good pairing. There's some running back scrolls I like, so we'll try to find something down there. But yeah, it's been a fun season. This possibility of this being the last stream, so just wanted to make sure we got on here, wrapped it up, did a slate breakdown, and hope everyone enjoys the holidays over the next few weeks. It's going to be a nice reset. I know this week was pretty tilting for a lot of people between the Kyle Pitts explosion, the Trevor Lawrence explosion, just a lot of bad beats. But if you got teams still kicking, there's still hope. Like I felt like it was all over, but got some best ball teams alive. Most important one in the DraftKings Millie. So things break our way. It might be a whole different picture coming up here soon, best ball wise. But I know I'm not alone when I say, like, after that Falcons game on Thursday, I just felt like, wow, like every draft I did is dead because of Kyle Pitts. And I had some Kyle Pitts, and that DraftKings team has Kyle Pitts, so I guess it helped some people, killed a lot of others. I guess I got lucky that team doesn't have Penix. It's just a one-off Kyle Pitts. But yeah, it's just that time of year. A lot of fatigue, a lot of tilt, a lot of people just kind of over it. So it'll be exciting getting back after it next season. Mercs and I will be streaming all summer, leading through the season. We got the 3-person overlays we mentioned before, so we're going to bring on guests. We're going to have Brian the Goober on. Hopefully, Chad Candles, talking to him a little bit about it. Let's see. I would love Bucky here. That would be like a really nice fall, but when you got a war pig in front of you, it's not gonna happen too often. Chase Brown, good team total. His floor's been really good, just doesn't really quite have the ceiling. Don't want Bowers. Could go with the mini with Hampton, ETN, Rice. It's getting a little ugly. I guess we'll just go Chase Brown. Don't really love it, but the team totals supports it. Let's get Scrolly. I think I want to go Rico and a must-win at home. Seems nice. But I don't think he's going to get drafted, so is there a tight end we could take instead for now? Quarterback, maybe? It's fine. Perhaps we'll go Theo Dart. Played it last week. Didn't quite get there. But Brian the Goober was saying, give me all the Dart, Shuck, and JGM this week, especially if they're undrafted. So, like that idea. Dart seems like the kind of guy that doesn't give a crap that the season's over and is just going to go out there and play his best football every week, and also doesn't give a shit that people don't want him to run. And I mean, he still ran for 63 yards last week. I think he's really pushing for offensive the rookie of the year. So I don't know what the odds are or if he has a shot. Yeah, I figured it'd be Travion, but I mean, what is Trey? I mean, Travion's had a couple of really big games, but also some really bad ones. Dart plus 550. No one's a clear favorite, but I guess that's like the one narrative you could tell yourself is if Dart goes for rookie of the year, just trying to make more money on his eventual big contract. Two more for a 12-man. These things are hard to fill, so if you're looking to get some volume in early in the week, this is your shot. Because sometimes I'm like, ooh, I want to attack this angle in the 12s early in the week, and you just sit there and the lobby doesn't fill. So sometimes you got to take advantage of when you get a lobby to fill at this point. Don't hate Bo Nix either. Naked. QB9, he's going to be still pretty low owned. But we're going to stick to the Dart narrative. Plus, I saw a video of Dart and Theo Johnson going shopping in New York City. So basically, blood brothers. Looks like Lad. There, people are getting to Lad. 21 ADP, so he's not as much. He's not a scroll. For some reason, I was like looking at him like he's a scroll. He's not. Not my favorite team. I think I'd rather have some of that early running back power, looking at how this panned out, but not terrible. Rico will be low owned. I like his matchup at home. I know it's more of a pass funnel, but he got it done against tough Packers defense on the road, so hard to rule him out. Just need 1 week where tight end doesn't get completely nuked by Trey McBride, and it's just so hard to scroll at tight end right now. All right, waiting for one person in the 12s. All right, we filled. Let's go. Would love a top 4 pick. Got number 10. Got Best Ball Viper in here, former Dog Bowl champion, Buster Boys, who's the early week guru. Ingle X, what's up, man? I don't know if you're in the chat, but good to see you in here. And then yeah, I think that's everyone. But if you're in here and I didn't mention you, definitely let me know. So from the 10 is going to be a little tough. I think I want Bucky. Running back is going to get a little dirty, a little gross in the 12 man's quick. 6 man's is fine because you're only drafting 12 total, but here you're basically drafting all of them that start. So yeah, I think I'm going to prioritize running back early here. Seems like there's enough late wide receiver clicks to be comfortable doing that. I will take Trey McBride if he falls to 10, but that's not going to happen. Bijan at the 1, that's surprising. Looks like they agree that Achane shouldn't be the 101. Viper goes Gibbs over Achane. That's how I would have played it. Plus, Gibbs has been 3 touchdowns every other week. So you just play that narrative and he's going to score 3. 3 total. But it even dates back a further week. So James Cook goes at 4, despite the matchup. Ingle X, who got second place in the Dog Bowl, shout out to Ingle X, goes Trey McBride, just saying, hey, it's Trey McBride or pay the rake, which may very well be the case, the way it's been going lately. I would like Bucky, but you can't have nice things in the 12 man, so that means Bucky will probably go right here. Okay, goes Javonte. I'm going to take Bucky. I think when ETR projections come out, Bucky will steam up a little bit, but we will see. I think Beast Birth hangs out in Chad's stream. Goes Nico. I could have gone Nico. What's the playoff picture for the Texans? They went really turn things around. 94% to make the playoffs now. Wow. 97% if they win, 82% if they lose. Really no shot at the 1 seed. I guess they're still fighting for the division. Michael Wilson at the 1-2 turn. My God. To think I had so much of them that 1 week in the Dog Bowl when our boy Dan Preciado qualified. I got 10th place. And just I can't even remember. Oh, DK Metcalf let me down. But I had everything else. Josh Allen, Michael Wilson. It's crazy. He's 13th pick now. He was going unowned in all those. He was free every draft. Bucky, Hampton. Man, do we really wanna really might have to just pull up running back here because it gets gross really fast, and I know other people are gonna pull up the other good options, so yeah, I'm just gonna lock it up. Both have good totals, both are playing for something, both are good offenses, so just betting on talent, betting on teams, betting on totals, locking up a scarce position. I think it's reasonable. I don't think by the time it gets back to us, like, I wouldn't mind Judkins. I wouldn't mind Dowdle. I wouldn't mind Tracy, but I don't think any of those 3 are gonna be there when we get back. We'll see. We'll queue them up. Not that we could pick them, but just a thought experiment. And if they're there, then I regret taking Hampton, but I guess Tracy I'm not crazy about actually. So it's more so these 2 would be targets. See if they're still there, and if they're still there, then the next time I do one of these, I'll push running back. But appreciate you guys hanging out. Just a reminder, this is the final stream until after New Year's. Not sure if we're gonna do a week 18 stream like Brian recommended, saying it's a profitable week to play, but that'll be TBD. You can follow us on Twitter at Fantasy Sharps. We will update our schedule for next summer and next season there, or just make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and by the time the season rolls around, we should pop up in your feed. I imagine the plan's going to be to stick to the same schedule, do Tuesdays and Wednesday nights at 8:30 Eastern. Doesn't really step on any toes. Most of the other streams are like Chad's in the morning, Pete's in the early morning, mid afternoon. Bad Bros are at 2. Uh, Brian the Goober, last time I tuned in was at 6:30. So I feel like we found a good time spot. It's a little late, but people on the West Coast, I feel like it's good for. And also, if you're a night owl like Mercs and I, then this it's the place to be. And if you watch any poker content, I'm a poker player myself, and they got the night shift with Ali Najad and Nick Schulman on Poker Go. And I feel like that's kind of the vibe here. Just the night shift, wind down with us, draft some teams. And one other reminder, we got the 3-person overlays designed. So yeah, hoping to get on some awesome guests next summer, maybe a mix of drafts together, maybe some interviews. Got to know Awen pretty well over the last month or 2, drafting best dailies and stuff. So would be cool to get his story and get him on here for an interview or something. Um, but yeah, and then I've been talking to a bunch of people throughout the season. It's been awesome. A lot of great people in this community. Been talking to Dan Preciado. He messaged me, and he plays a bunch of poker himself. So it's fun to see the overlaps between the poker community and the best ball slash battle royale community. And Pete was just out in Vegas playing cards at the Win at the WPT Championship. So really excited. Pretty much as soon as this stuff's all over, I'm gonna be like fully back on into poker. Have a YouTube account for poker. It's Pat Moore Poker. Do vlogs and stuff on there, some all-in shorts and stuff like that. So if you're into that kind of stuff, check that out. Looks like Judkins is going to be available by the time it comes back, but just barely. Looks like he fell, so might not have gotten lucky for that to happen. Our other target did go though. Tracy, look, Tracy went. We thought Tracy would still be there for sure. Dowdle went at 23. And Nick, there went Judkins. So I'm not crazy. I was perfectly correct to think that all my targets would be swallowed up by the time it got back to me. I'd be staring at Brees Hall in the face, saying, "Am I really going to do this to myself again? Am I really this much of a masochist to click Brees Hall in week 16 of the NFL season?" No, I'm not. So I'm going to ride the Kyle Pitts train. And we are gonna say if he nukes again, sick. If he doesn't, thank God. Because I think that DraftKings Millie is the only team that has him. I think I somehow survived the other teams without Kyle Pitts. This is also in honor of Awin, who I was just talking about, who loves Kyle Pitts. Had Pitts in the dog bowl. If he nuked for him in that, he would have won by a mile. Okay, let's just look at wide receiver, quarterback. Could go Herbert, Hampton, Chargers receiver for the running back, wide receiver stack, but B-Spurf does not allow us to do such things. Could go naked Brissett, punt receiver. Not really in love with any of these receiver options. Yeah, I'm gonna go naked Brissett and just be projection pilled. Don't hate Goff down there either. But I imagine his friends are gone. Yeah. Sorry to the Trey McBride / Michael Wilson drafter, but I'm riding this Jacoby train until it dies. And this is a very Awin, in honor of Awin team, because I feel like he's just willing to ride the naked Brissett, loves Pitts, and then we could find some scrolly receivers. Don't hate Godwin. Do the secondary team stack with Bucky. Team has a decent total. Must win environment. Just don't hate how many mouths there are to feed now. Maybe I don't love punting receiver. Probably better off punting quarterback, tight end. It's usually the meta in these. This is foolish. It's all right, though. Find some value somehow. Let's look at the high total teams and see if their pieces are alive. No Lions. Bills, maybe. I know Eagles said that Keon has a chance to come on late in the season. Just has 0 points last week, though, so that's going to be tough. Shakir, still there. I don't hate that. High total. Bengals, maybe Tinsley. If you just think T's not going to play. 49ers, Pearsall available still? I guess they're not on the main slate. Texans, Higgins. No one's going to want to play Higgins after his terrible game last week, but it's not the worst. Eagles are not on the main slate. Cowboys, Ravens, Bateman healthy? They're not on the main slate. Troy Franklin. I guess we'll pull Godwin back up. We'll just attack secondary pieces from high totals. It's probably the best bet. Any of these Chargers pieces still available? I imagine they are. Keenan. If the winning lineup had Keenan, wouldn't shock anyone. 7 targets last week. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Stack them up with the Hampton. And then any other high team totals? Attackable? Jordan Addison, maybe? What's their total? 23. Coming off 7 and 10 targets before this past week. Had one big play. Yeah, I think I'm happy with either of these two. Let's get rid of these deeper plays. I'd say any of these four are pretty good. Decent bets. Bills are 26-7-5. Shakir. It's gross, but they're fighting for the division, have a good team total, and he might be the way you beat the Browns, so I don't hate it. All right, guys, that was fun. It's been a great season. I really appreciate you guys. Uh, it's been a great learning experience, a lot of fun sweats, made a lot of great relationships with people in the community. It's been a blast, guys. Looking forward to next season. We'll be back as soon as the lobby's open. So I imagine early May, mid May, we'll be back to our schedule of Tuesdays and Wednesday nights at 8:30 Eastern. Make sure you subscribe if you aren't, if you want to tune in for those. And it's gonna be a great season. Looking forward to it very much. And small chance we'll be back for like a week 18 kind of deal. Might also do some non-live videos, just some normal uploads. So stay tuned for those. But as far as regularly programmed schedule goes, we are not going to be live on tomorrow or for the holidays. So that'll do it for the Sharps for the season. From Pat Moore, from Merckx. Thank you guys and see you next season.